Hi everybody, how we're doing? It is Mr. Volpe here. Happy to be with you guys for a fall term with Snorville High School in conjunction with Georgia Northwestern Technical College. A little bit about me: I started teaching at GNTC in 2013, and I started doing dual enrollment with SHS, say about 4, 5, 6-ish years ago. So happy to be back with you folks over there and with Miss Stephanie Caudell as well. I believe is my contact there. She and I will be working in close tandem to facilitate the class and make sure you guys are where you need to be and have all the help that you need. Okay, so I'm just going to go dive right in, guys. These videos are going to come out every other week. So our first week, our third week, our fifth week, our seventh week, on and on and on. You'll have an announcement every week explaining what we're doing that week. Okay, so you'll see our announcement pop up for the week, and it'll tell you what we're doing in terms of our assignments. So I'll just go ahead and let you guys know what we're looking at for this week. So when you go ahead and look at your GNTC page from Blackboard and you see your course options there, when you open up the course, on the left-hand side, you'll see a menu, variety of selectable options there. The ones you want to really focus on are the ones that say the textbook. It's about the fourth one down. And then several options below that, you see the 1101 reader. Those are our two primary means of assignment attention, let's say. Okay, our assignments are going to come from the textbook, Successful College Composition, and the 1101 reader. Okay, so in the textbook, which we'll abbreviate as SCC, short for Successful College Composition, you will see the exercises related to the modes of discourse that we're going to look at over the term. And modes of discourse are really just ways of communicating. Okay, it's basically what our essays are going to be focused on. The way the course is structured, we have exercises, reading from our reader, then we'll do an essay. Once we're finished with that mode of discourse, our first one is narration. We'll move on to description, and then on to argument and persuasion, and then MLA research. That's the first half of the course. Second half of the course, we introduce new modes of discourse like compare, contrast, cause and effect, definition, but we actually edit our essays that we wrote during the first half of the term. Okay, so just a broad general background of how the course proceeds throughout the year. But let's focus in on this week. 3 things to do this week. Okay, number 1 is the no-show discussion board. Okay, so when you guys look in the course, you'll see it's broken up into shells. You'll go to shell 1 this week, and you'll go to week 1. Okay, our discussion forum is in week 1, and our other 2 assignments that we'll talk about in just a moment are there as well. So the discussion forum, I have attached a resignation letter by a content creator and author and journalist whom I admire greatly. Her name is Barry Weiss. She used to work for the New York Times, but she resigned from the New York Times. And it's pretty interesting to read her story as to why she decided she felt that she no longer had a place there. So what I want you guys to do is read that resignation letter, and then just follow the instructions in the discussion board. I ask you to identify what you think her thesis statement is. A thesis statement is just the main idea, the opinion of the author that is expressed as that author's notion of the truth. Okay, so if my topic is fast food and my refined topic is the best fast food, and I further refine my topic by saying my favorite fast food restaurants, let's say Chick-fil-A, my thesis statement might be Chick-fil-A has the best food quality and customer service of all of the big fast food restaurants. And then in my paper, if I were writing a paper on it, I would set out to prove to you with supporting details why Chick-fil-A is the best customer service, quality, food quality, etc. So Barry Weiss doesn't necessarily tell you her central thesis statement, her position, like in one sentence. Okay, you might have to kind of pick it out for yourself and kind of figure out where she stands, what she's saying. List some supporting details, and then say whether or not you agree or disagree with her position, what she's saying about the climate of the New York Times and why she felt as though she had to resign. You have to interact with one other student. You have to give your original post and then interact with at least one other student to get credit. Make sure you follow the word count instructions there. And in order to make a post, you have to click create thread. You'll see create thread once you click in the discussion forum. So doing that, I'll give you credit, and you will be qualified as active in the class. So when it comes time for us to do our no-shows, the students who aren't participating or haven't done anything in the course, you will not be considered a no-show. A couple other things in Shell 1, Week 1 this week. Our first SCC assignment is exercises 2 and 3 in the narration chapter. Okay, so that is in chapter 3, narration. Okay, it's 3.1 in fact. You could do exercise 1 on your own, but all I want to see is what you had to say for exercises 2 and 3. They ask you to develop a plot about a time in your life, and then use transitions to move that plot along, okay? And you can use what you do for exercises 2 and 3 for our first essay, which is coming up in a couple weeks' time. Basically, our first essay is going to be a narrative essay on a particularly meaningful or life-changing moment in your life, kind of like a climactic moment in your life, a turning point moment in your life, let's say. So exercises 2 and 3 kind of have you start building on that, okay? So just to review, talked about the no-show assignment, talked about SCC, the textbook, okay? Exercises 2 and 3 in chapter 3.1. Then the other thing to do is our 2 discussion questions that I have attached in the description for our reader selections, I should say. So this is in the 1101 reader, and it is 2 pieces, one by George Orwell called Shooting an Elephant, and then one by Bonnie Smith Yackel entitled My Mother Never Worked. Both of them are narrative pieces, okay, where the author relates some significant moment in their life and gives you, they give you the details about how this moment was so transformative and meaningful for them. And I have 2 discussion questions that ask you to kind of relate a moment in your own life. Okay, one of the questions this tends to trip up students is talk about a time about the worst job you've ever had. And I realize as you guys are high schoolers or taking maybe freshman level college courses, that maybe you haven't had a first job yet. And that's okay. If you haven't had a job or been legally employed, let's say, you could just talk about a moment in which you did a task like mowing the lawn or doing the dishes or changing your little brother or sister's diaper or whatever it is, some household task that you had to do if you haven't had a job yet, okay? And those 2 discussion questions there. What I would do is for those discussion questions, you could just paste your answers in the Word document that I have provided and just send back your edited Word document with your responses. And for the textbook, the SCC exercises, you could just answer them in the main discussion form, the main Dropbox portion. And you could just submit them that way. You could submit them as a Word document. Just try not to submit your responses in the comments section. Okay, so please don't, because it's kind of hard to read when you guys submit things in the comments section. Okay, so I want to keep this video as short as I can. They typically run about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll bookend it by just giving you a little more info about me. I am in St. Augustine, Florida. I started teaching remotely with GNTC and SHS the summer of 2016 when I moved from Kennesaw, Georgia, here to uh, the St. Augustine, Jacksonville area in Northeast Florida. And my day job, by the way, is teaching middle school. So I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So I have those students, about 65 of them, and then I have 3 sections with you guys. I don't know, that's probably 60 to 90-ish students, let's say. So I have a lot of students under my charge, so just keep in mind when you send an email, which by the way, you should, title your email, make sure you are spelling correctly and, trying your best to not type off an email like you're texting your friend or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Okay, I'm your teacher. I'm none of those things. So we want to keep our etiquette and civility and respectfulness toward each other paramount. So Mr. Volpe, comma, or good day, Mr. Volpe, comma, is fine. If you have a question, email me, let me know. I'm pretty good getting back to emails promptly. Some are even surprised how promptly I get back to them. Okay. It's not always the case, but typically within a 24-hour period, you could expect me to have replied to your query. Okay. Yes. So anything else to talk about? I think that will do, guys. These videos are kind of informal, impromptu, no bells and whistles. I'm not like a graphic artist by any stretch of the imagination. It's just basically me talking into my phone camera, just kind of putting in some FaceTime with you guys, to kind of make the course a little more personal. So read your syllabus, okay? That is there. You can look at the Netiquette ground rule stuff. You can look at the paper format attachment. It shows you how we format our essays in this class, but all you have to be concerned with this week is Shell 1, Week 1, discussion forum, the 2 SCC exercises in Chapter 3.1 in the textbook, Successful College Composition, and in our 1101 reader, the 2 reading selections by George Orwell and Bonnie Smith Yackle, the discussion questions that are attached. Just answer those. So 3 things to do. Any questions, guys? mvolpe@gntc.edu. Just make sure your email is professional and is fitting that you are contacting your teacher and not, your little brother who's annoying you down the hallway. Okay. And I will do the same. I will give you that same courtesy as well. Okay. All right. At the risk of rambling on for too much, it's good to see you all. Good to see you all. Okay. And peace. And I will talk to you again in a couple weeks' time. You'll get another announcement every week. But again, videos every other week. All right. Talk to you later.